Hello and welcome to the Bukit Jalil National Stadium as the athletics competition continues at the 2017 Southeast Asia Games. This is the evening session on day 5. The third day, though, of track and field competition. The 6th session in the stadium. So air temperature is down to around 30 degrees Celsius, a little more comfortable for the athletes. Humidity, though, has been rising. At a fair breeze about initially. It's dropped somewhat, so the wind speed is down to around 6 kilometers an hour, which is very comfortable for the athletes to deal with. Those will be hoping no wind is about. And let's look at the program for this evening session. It'll start off with the men's long jump final. They'll be delighted that there's not much wind about, or if any, that a slight push from behind. They won't mind as long as it's not stronger than 2 meters per second. Women's heptathlon, the shot put, third event of the day, is also set to take place. A host of other events, including the finals of the women's high jump and 10,000 meter, as well as the 400 meter and the men's 400 meter final, before the final event of the evening, which will be the 200 meter for women in the heptathlon. This is the start list for the men's long jump final, the very first event on the evening program. The program that will see some of the best long jumpers in Southeast Asia do battle, some of the best long jumpers in Asia, in fact, doing battle. And the great news is that the top 3 seeded jumpers in this event are separated by 3 centimeters. This season, so it gives you an indication of just how tightly contested this is likely to be. Now, one of those, Lukman Hakim Ramlan of Malaysia, is looking to claim a medal tonight, undoubtedly. There he is, wearing 155 in the foreground. Lukman Hakim Ramlan, just 22 years old, learning his trade. He'll be hoping for a medal, but he's got a bit of a battle on it with the likes of Bui Van Dong, the 22-year-old Vietnamese, with a best of 789 this season already to his credit. And from the Philippines, well, Tyler Ruiz and Chanri Ubas will be representing Philippines. And there's Tyler Ruiz just doing a little warm-up. 2 men from Laos, Nan Tawong and Vong Pakdi will be representing Laos, a country that won its first track and field medal in the last session. Yes, Chanri Ubas, a smile and a wave for the camera. Now, Bui Van Dong, top ranked in Southeast Asia this season, but his best jump is only 1 centimeter better than Chanri Ubas of the Philippines. In Malaysia have 2 competitors. This is Abdul Latif bin Rumli. The 2 Lao athletes. Vong Pakdi and Nan Tabong. So the athletes have been warming up. There's a familiar face to those who've been watching all of the athletics. Sutisak Singkon, the 21-year-old who was silver medalist in the decathlon. He's the Asian decathlon champion, but he was pipped at the post by a very impressive performance from Aries Toledo, the Philippines athlete who gave Philippines one of 2 late gold medals on the evening session on day 2 of the track and field. Aries Toledo and Trenton Anthony Beram, in successive events, managed to claim gold medals for the Philippines. Beram in the 200 meter. He'll be running in this evening's program in the 400 meter. So warm-up opportunities then for the jumpers before the final gets underway proper. But first up on the runway from Malaysia, 22-year-old Lukman Hakim Ramlan. Wanting to get off to a good start. It's about building speed down the runway. Getting a powerful takeoff. And a clean landing as well. And towards the board, that's a That's a very big jump in terms of distance. He'll feel comfortable that he's got something behind him. Jumpers will be wanting to register legitimate first jumps. So it's a good solid warm-up jump. Surely going over the 7-meter mark. That's what they'll be wanting to register. Build up towards the jump that'll register beyond 750 at least. And these days, to medal at the major international competitions, you need at least 8 meters 20, 8 meters 30. At the World Championships, so the likes of Luvo Manyonga, the new world champion, the Olympic silver medalist, who's been in such impressive and emphatic form in recent times. So Malaysia's Lukman Hakim Ramlan starts with a 7.07, but he has a legitimate jump behind him, and that'll settle the nerves, just calm the nerves, competing in front of his home fans. Here's Nantawong of Laos. His time has started. Some athletes are aware of the wind speed in the stadium. Some are always looking to their coach for advice. Some just want to settle down, get comfortable and go whenever they're ready. Well, it's a poor effort from the Lao jumper. He knows it as well. Barely 6 meters. Just a word or two with the coaches. A little extended platform for the coaches to communicate with their athletes. So a long jump is as much about building speed and momentum toward the board as properly landing on the board, and indeed trying to get a solid takeoff. He'll be disappointed with that. No. Huy Van Dong of Vietnam. This is the top-ranked jumper in Southeast Asia currently. Best of 789 this season. A jump that he claimed at the Vietnam Open in Ho Chi Minh City in July. Speed down the runway. He's got very powerful legs and gets a good launch. Oh, might have been a little bit long on the board there, but that's a very, very impressive opening jump from the Vietnamese star. So he could have put himself out to just around his season's best with his very opening jump. Oh, great speed along the runway. We know he's got a powerful takeoff. Oh, it looks like his foot was solidly planted. So he'll be, it's just over 7 meters 60. And he waits. He looks pretty pleased with this effort. You're wanting to go at least 780. And a 764, that's a very impressive start for the man from Vietnam. And now we get into the string of jumpers who are all in genuine medal contention.
Ladies and gentlemen, the short while, the next event about to begin is the women's heptathlon discipline team. Shot put.
From the Philippines, Tyler Christian Ruiz. So Tyler Ruiz, 26-year-old. He's been close to the 780 mark this season already. 778 in San Diego. Like many of the Philippines athletes, lives and trains in the United States. Good speed down the runway. A little heavy on the board, in fact very heavy on the board. So very close to that. And that's why it was heavy on the board. Over the mark. Wouldn't have been happy with the overall distance though, but step on the beyond the board, then it does upset your rhythm. Now, this is a man who has claimed 3 golds in the last 4 SEA Games. Supanara Sukasvastinayu. Still only 25 years old, a man who won gold in 2009 with 783. He won gold again in 2011 with 786, which is just 1 centimetre off the SEA Games record. The man who was the world youth champion in the long jump from 2009, whose promise was abundant as a junior and as a youth, has failed to quite live up to expectations since. Still holds the national record in Thailand for long jump, 8:05 is personal best. Struggled to get over 7:75 this season. Again, not a very big effort. A little bit of concern there. Seems to know what he's done wrong. Immediately looks over at his coach. Nod. He'll find himself, I dare say, second. To be just beyond the 7-metre mark. The technique is there. He's got just about everything right. He's never quite gone beyond where he was expected to go. So 7:22, he is currently second. It's a long way behind, virtually half a metre behind Bui Van Dong of Vietnam after the first round. Now, Abdul Latif bin Romli of Malaysia next to go. I think he's gone a little too long on the board. Decent looking distance. Oh, it's a white flag, so the jump that'll be measured, so you might be happy with that. Decent looking distance. Just a comment of, yeah, it's good. From the coaching corner.
Tonton dan puan-puan para hadirin yang dihormati sekalian, pada jam 8 suku malam nanti acara 10.000 meter wanita akan berlangsung di peringkat akhir.
So getting himself into
Dan peserta-peserta
a decent position. Didn't look overly enthralled by the effort though, but it registers as 7:18 with his opening jump. He's on the scoreboard and currently in the bronze medal position. Early days yet in the men's long jump, the first final of the evening session of day 5.
Ladies and gentlemen, the track event that is scheduled at 3:15 p.m.
No, January Ubas. This is a man who is seeded second in Southeast Asia currently. 23-year-old from the Philippines, a 7:88 in June. And part of his build-up to Southeast Asia Games.
Ladies and gentlemen, 6 athletes will be participating in the women's 10,000 meters race. For our info, the Olympic record is 29 minutes.
Good speed down the runway. Oh, a long way behind the board, but great distance. If he can find the board with that sort of jump, he's going to around about the 760, 770 mark. So he'll take that distance. He's missed out on a good 20 centimeters at the board here. He's still launching off the tartan rather than off the board itself. Really cost himself a little. Maybe just fell back slightly. The shorts catching the sand a little. But that's a good 750 jump. You consider he's lost nearly 20 centimeters at the board. 755. That would have been a good 770, 775 jump easily. So second overall. A really good start for a man that's gone 788 this season. Now, next on the runway is a man who's already completed 10 events, including the long jump in the decathlon, where he jumped 756, his best. The 21-year-old Asian champion in the decathlon, but only a silver medal here behind Aries Toledo of Philippines. He lost leading after 9 events, just couldn't keep up with Toledo in the 1,500 meter, and as a result had to settle for the silver medal. Now trying to psych himself up, a man with a PB of 783. So a genuine medal contender in this event. Speed down the runway. Short of the board. Well over 7 meters. Oh, he looks quite pleased with that. It was a bit of a wry smile, but a slap of the leg suggested otherwise. Well, he'll want to go at least 750.
No. Enough. Get up. You made me talk like that.
Not enthralled. Well, his legs were leading the way, but it was his thumb that caught the sand. Took it forward. Need to control the landing. Need to be a little more stealthy with the landing. So 7:27 to open. Currently third overall.
10,000 meters women final. Introduction of competitors. 627.
Pham Thi Hu of Vietnam, first to be introduced as we introduce the runners in the women's all-important 10,000 meter final. The defending champion and a legend over 10,000 meters in Southeast Asia. Trianing Si. Kin Mase of Myanmar goes from 3. Nataya Tanaronawat, a 38-year-old marathon champion in 2015 and a bronze medal in the marathon here. Oliver Sadi of Indonesia goes in 5.
626.
And Pham Thi Hung Le of Vietnam goes from lane 6. She's got a 37-minute 10,000 meter in this season already. So Pham Thi Hu, silver medalist in 2015, barefoot runner. It's not common these days. We're getting away to not much of a speedy start, but immediately trying to take the lead is Trianing Si of Indonesia, has won the last 5 consecutive women's 10,000 meter SEA Games titles, as Ningsi, and immediately looking to take the race to the remainder of the field. 2007, 2009, 2011, 2013 and 2015. She claimed gold. The lady immediately behind her, the woman immediately behind her, Pham Thi Huay, the 21-year-old from Vietnam, already a 35.02 this season. Set a national junior record, in fact, in coming second to Ningsi in the 2015 SEA Games. A silver medal for her, just 19, now 21, running barefoot. There have been a host of well-known competitors who've run barefoot, have preferred to run barefoot over the years. Of course, Zola Bud-Petersen, who competed in the 1984 Games, more infamous for a collision with the United States' Mary Decker. Zola Bud-Petersen, born in South Africa, competing for Great Britain, collided with Mary Decker, eventually finished 7th. Middle distance race. But the most famous of all the barefoot athletes certainly would be the great Abebe Bikila of Ethiopia, who won consecutive gold medals in 1960 and 1964 in the Olympic Games marathon, running barefoot. He was leading the marathon, in fact, in 1968, running with an injured foot, could not complete the marathon. His teammate Momo Walde went on to win the gold medal back in 68 in Mexico City. But right now, the SEA Games of 2017, it's about the top 2. Ningsi of Indonesia and Pham Thi Huay of Vietnam. They're currently settled very nicely into a good rhythm out on the track, and well in front of the nearest competitors. Only 6 athletes in this race.
With the record, 32 minutes, 49.47 seconds.
The very best in this event, coming back in Vientiane in 2009, when Lao hosted the SEA Games. Well, there's the chasing pack, as it were, currently being led by the Thai runner, the marathon runner, Nataya Tanaranawat. At 38, though, still a very fierce competitor. Switched to the marathon distance some time ago, and as I mentioned, won the marathon title in 2015 and finished bronze in the marathon here, so she's already got some kilometers in her legs. So this 10,000 meter race is 25 laps of the 400 meter oval track at the Bukit Jalil National Stadium. Kim Marseille, 5th in 2015. We'll be wanting to improve on the 38-minute 10,000 meter that she completed at the National Championships in February. Lavasadi of Indonesia and Pham Thi Huay of Vietnam, the other 2 competitors at the back. But right now it's a good solid rhythm for Ningsi, just getting their tempo. And right, Ningsi, the leader, and Pham Thi Huay of Vietnam. Ningsi now at 30. She's been dominant for over a decade in this event, and going for her 6th consecutive gold medal in an individual event.
The gold medalist. Will she hold on to that?
Pham Thi Huay, though, the young talent,
a fellow participant. Let's wait and see.
Who's shown some promise. So we'll switch in the lead now, just taking turns. Lavasadi of Indonesia. He's currently sitting in 3rd place officially, but she's leading a pack that is well behind these 2 athletes who've stretched their advantage. A very settled rhythm, but another good half hour of running to do on the track. It's just about finding a rhythm, good solid rhythm. Get the tempo right, keep the shoulders nice and relaxed. And these runners have been building up to the SEA Games. They've prepared for the event. Well, the chasing pack just losing a little ground. They've settled into their own rhythm, though. There's a sense that Nataya Tannaranawat these days is more of a marathon runner as we return to the long jump pit. So the leader after the first round, an enormous jump of 7.64. He'll be pleased with that. There's length space to work with on the board as well. Bui Van Dong of Vietnam. 7.89 already this season. 22-year-old. Psyching himself up. So strong off the board. Shake of the head this time though. Looked like he just needed to shorten his run. Didn't quite get that final stride right, so couldn't hit the board with full momentum. It's a fine balancing act to get the long jump right. Just trying to sprint your way along the runway. And you build speed along the runway. And the wooden takeoff board is the ideal area to take off. Just looked like a bit of a, not stumble, but just needed to correct ever so slightly with a slightly shorter step before the build-up.
Ladies and gentlemen, a wave of claps.
So this shouldn't be as far as his opening jump. But he'll maintain his advantage in front. 7.57. Not far away, so a fairly consistent series so far.
20 more laps to go. With the minutes
So
now,
an adjustment on the runway for the Philippines athlete, Tyler Ruiz. After a no jump in the opening attempt. Now just to settle himself. So 6 jumps for these competitors. Ruiz with no jump at the first. Building into his speed. Oh, just short. He's fallen back and made rather disastrous indentation in the sand. So the distance that is measured is the, oh, it's a red flag after a little consultation. There's a mark in the plasticine. So Tyler Ruiz will not have registered a jump in his opening 2. The distance, had that been legal, of course, is measured from the edge of the board. Oh, not by much, nearly perfect. By a centimetre effectively.
Right, the finals do also.
So Ruiz, maybe a little adjustment required again. So as much a mental game as anything else for these competitors. Now for the defending champion, Supanara Sukasvasti Naayu, 2009 World Youth Champion in the long jump. He actually won that long jump title. Became the first Thai athlete to win a global title in any age category. Oh, well over the board. Well, he's got decent distance on that, but he was well over the board. Grabs a handful of sand and tosses it in frustration.
The women's heptathlon disciplinary shot put is also
well along.
Ongoing as we witness the long jump, the high jump, and the 10,000 meters children's run. To support.
So short in the first jump, long in the second. And the takeoff board means that he's still got some adjustment to go.
The 10,000 meters.
That's to get into his series. Abdul Latif bin Romli now from Malaysia. quite the height that he had in his initial long jump. Abdul Latif Romli. Speed down the runway, building towards the board. Going with the right foot, almost like he stepped across the board rather than throwing his full momentum behind it. So 7:25. Somewhere to go. No, Jan Riobas, also a competitor in the decathlon, not at these championships, but a man who has competed in the decathlon. 7:88 in June. He wants to achieve something akin to that. Put himself in contention for a medal placing. And from the Philippines. Well, it's the board. It's just gone long at it. It was a really good height again. He's got a very solid takeoff. Long on the board, which means it will not be measured. Not by much either. It would have been an enormous jump. Around the 770 mark had he been behind it. Well, maybe a little less. Just the left falling short, but that would have put him very squarely in the silver medal position. Would have improved his first round jump, I'd suggest. So some frustration for Jan Riobas, but he remains second overall in that jump of 7:55 in the opening round. Sutisak Singkon. Well, getting out there around 7:40 perhaps, short of the board again. So we're seeing a few jumpers here go even short of the board on the runway. Not even near the wood. Jumping off the tartan. He's a tall man, he's very powerfully built as well, carries a lot of muscle, carries a lot of bulk, so he needs to build some serious speed down the runway, get the momentum going. He's got very powerful legs, and the fact that he is a decathlete helps his all-round strength, particularly his lower back, his ab strength, which is required as a decathlete. So 7:44, he's currently third overall behind Bui Van Dong and Jan Riobas. Suwandi Wijaya, the Indonesian, after a 7:27 in the opening round. Oh, good distance, very good distance. The way he looks at that. How close, yeah, how close. Not quite, needs a little adjustment. Looked at that distance and thought, just about got it right. He knows it's a no jump. Officials just pointing out where he stood. He would have felt it, he would know. But what he doesn't know exactly is just how far over he was. And get an indication from the plasticine. That should leave a little indentation should any part of the foot touch it. Now, Pong Pakti Sompong of Laos, his second attempt. Currently 8th of the 11 competitors. Is that too long? But the distance not there on the jump. Trying to readjust his run again, a slightly shortened final step in an attempt not to overstep. So 671, just broke his momentum down the takeoff. Tien Trong, no jump to start. One of a handful of athletes who didn't register with their first jump. So Nihi and Tyler Rees yet to have a jump measured. Better, he took his mark back, and that's a decent launch. This is another jumper who's gone beyond the 780 mark this season, 787 at the Vietnam Open. So if he can start putting a series together of legal jumps, he'll be in medal contention as well. So 753 finds himself third best overall, one of the athletes who's beyond the 750 mark. So as things stand after round 2, it is Bui Van Dung, one of the favourites for gold, who leads with a jump of 764 ahead of Jan Riubas and compatriot of the leader, Nguyen, currently third with that jump of 753. This is the women's 10,000 metre, 13 laps to go, and there's a little bit of a gap that has been closed by the Vietnamese athlete. Women's 10,000 metre, and a battle between the Vietnamese athletes, it seems. And the woman who currently leads from Indonesia, Thria Ningsih, 5-time champion, those 5 gold medals coming in succession leading up to these games, looking for her 6th in succession. The 30-year-old is on course for a good 33-second race here, a 33-minute race rather. So 20 minutes is up. Coming up to 12 laps to go. Just to confirm then, Thria Ningsih is leading of Indonesia with Pham Thi Huay running without the spikes, currently in second, the silver medalist from 2015, now just 21. And her teammates of Vietnam, Pham Thi Hong Le, who goes directly behind her. And these three have got a fairly solid lead. It's been a good run over the last couple of laps by Pham Thi Long Si, just to get her up to latch onto the back of these two, who've been well ahead of the remainder of the athletes for the bulk of this race by the end of the first lap of 25, bear in mind, for this 10,000 metre. And there's Cherningsi and Pam, who are significantly ahead. So a grand effort by the second of the two Vietnamese athletes, Pam Thi Hong Le, to get herself back into a position from which to challenge for a medal. And other athletes in this field just trailing on behind. These three looking very settled, good rhythm here. Cherningsi doesn't look to be bothered at all. And the 10,000 metre is a simple race to complete. It's quite simply 25 laps of a 400 metre track. Athletes have already started in a bit of a bunched start. They can immediately break for the inside, and that's exactly what Cherningsi did, with Pam tucking in behind her. So currently alone in fourth is Oliver Sadi, while the athlete from Myanmar, Kin Marse, the 26-year-old, is being lapped. So good pace here from the front runners in this women's 10,000 metre. A race that has produced some of the most dominant performances over the years. Most recently, the likes of Mo Farah have dominated the event in athletics history. Certainly in the men's arena, Almaz Ayana of Ethiopia has been dominating in the women's arena in recent times. And of course, the pioneer for Ethiopian women was Tirata Tulu, one of the greatest endurance runners of all time, and the first woman to win 2 Olympic 10,000 metre golds. She won in spectacular fashion in 1992. And then her niece, Tirunesh Dibaba, went on to achieve the same feat, 2008 and 2012, in successive Olympic Games in Beijing and London. So 541 is the athlete from Myanmar. She has been lapped, so currently the athlete in fourth is Oliver Sadi. It doesn't look like she's going to be contending for a medal. It'll be Cherningsi of Indonesia and the two Vietnamese athletes, Pam Thi Hue, currently second, and Pam Thi Hong Le, will be challenging for gold, silver and bronze between them. And Pam Thi Hue has gone away after a silver medal in 2015, and she's seemingly improved her style, her technique. She's matured as an athlete. And just holding on to the back now of the 10,000 metre legend of the Southeast Asia Games, who's searching for that 6th consecutive gold medal. And that is simply astonishing. Supanara Sukaswasti Nayu, the 25-year-old. 775 to win gold in 2015. And a man who's not jumped his best in a good 5 or 6 years now. His national record from 6 years ago in Kobe in Japan. Former World Youth Long Jump Champion. Needs to pull something out of the hat here, get himself into contention. That's a little better off the board, but again, short on distance. He knows it. Still well outside the medals here. He's going to need to produce something massive. Oh, again, just stepping over the mark. Really struggling to find any rhythm here. Half his competition is gone, and the best that he's produced is a 7:22. He hasn't had the distances on these other jumps either, which would give him some hope that he would be with a shout of a medal, and far from his best in recent times. Now, Abdul Latif bin Romli, only 6th overall with his second attempt at 7:25. He's shown promise with his jumps, but he needs to get up and over the 7:50 mark. And the top 3 jumpers find themselves. And this one is well short. No, doesn't like that at all. It's a legal jump, but he really isn't bothered by it. Legal jump, but just didn't have the distance. Well short of his best. That's his worst attempt of this series. So 7:08. Going through the mechanics with his coach. What some competitors do earlier on is generally have their long run up that they can use, but sometimes they'll go for shorter run up just to register a legal jump, and after that build into their routine. Others prefer to go from a set mark from the very start. Jan Riobas. He's looked very comfortable, he's looked very good as well. The man who has strength of the decathlon. He did not compete in the decathlon at this SEA Games. Trying to get the crowd behind him here. 23-year-old winner of the Thai Open this season with a 7:78. A jump of that measurement would take him well in front in this long jump competition so far. 6 jumps for each of these competitors. This is 3rd. Oh, that looks big. That looks very good. Oh, he loves it. Well, it was definitely a legal jump. Great height off the board from Jan Riobas. Well, he's gone beyond the 7:50, easily 7:60 mark there. He's just waiting for that measurement to come through. It's a lovely launch off the left. Great height. And just a cheek that came down and caught the sand, made the indentation. Either way, he knows it's a big jump. Very happy with that. Very happy with that. Celebrates in the sandpit. Might put him up into 2nd overall. Yep. 7:55. Well, he looked a lot happier with that second jump of 7:55 than he did with his first. Looked like he might have been beyond the 7:60 mark and challenging Bui Van Dong, but not to be. He remains 2nd. Sutisak Singh gone now. .744 with his second attempt. Getting closer to the 7:56. That was his best jump in the men's decathlon. A man who must have a tired, exhausted body already, following a silver medal in the decathlon. And competing in his individual event now, this long jump. It's difficult to always judge his genuine reaction. He's often got a smile on his face, and then in frustration will slap his leg or throw some sand about. He's not entirely convinced that this is long enough. It's certainly not long enough to take the lead, but Very low trajectory off the board. I'm not sure he's going to improve on his 7:44. Well, he does. But by 5 centimeters. So it's still out of medal contention. Currently in 4th. Next up on the runway. Suwandi Wijaya of Indonesia. He's got a big jump in him. He needs to register a legal jump. Ah, that is a big jump. No, that'll be out towards 7.60 meters. Some good speed down the runway. Good takeoff as well. Powering down the runway. Just using a bit of the old bicycle technique where you swing the legs through the air. It's not preferred by too many athletes these days. Not quite bicycling the entire way. Oh no, hold on. Did his elbow catch the sand? Yeah, it was his elbow, I think, that's caught the sand. Ooh. It's been measured as 7.63, so he's second overall. It just looked like his elbow had clipped some of the sand a little further back than where his legs had landed. It's 7.63. Where he sits. Bong Bakti Sombong of Laos.
It's down to 3 laps.
Only 9th out of the 11 competitors.
Indonesia is leading this event. Looks like Trianing says Indonesia is on the lead. 5 consecutive SEA Games gold medalist. He's trying a little best to brag a little more. Taking 6
Short again.
consecutive SEA Games gold medalist. Gold medal holder of the SEA Games. The long jump is an ongoing event tonight with the high jump, the female category, women category is on. So do support all 3 events tonight.
So 6.89 is his best jump of the series. No improvement for the man from Laos. So halfway through the long jump competition. Now the women's 10,000 meter. 800 meters remain. And what is turning out to be a relatively slow race over this final. Here remains Trianing in the lead with Pham Thi Huay of Vietnam second. And Pham Thi Ung Le of Vietnam third. And it just looks like Trianing is not prepared to take any chances, trying to extend an advantage over the Vietnamese athlete who's been on her shoulder, just over her shoulder, for the duration of the 10,000 meters so far. Well, being lapped for a second time is the Myanmar runner Kin Marse, a 38-minute runner over this distance. Trianing, just to give you an idea of her speed, while it's at 35 minutes already, she's somebody who holds the SEA Games record of 32 minutes 49.32 seconds, and she's still got a shade over 400 meters to go, and she'll take the bell, well in control of this race and well on her way to a 6th consecutive gold medal at the Southeast Asia Games. Well, looking to make this a very fast lap as well. She's not taking any chances. She is going to expend every last little bit of energy she has to bring the gold medal home for Indonesia. While Indonesia have claimed no fewer than 4 medals in these championships already, they've only got 1 gold medal to their credit. And she is about to bring Indonesia their 2nd gold medal of these championships. And it'll be well deserved. Trianingsih, you could have put her down for a gold medal. And she is not disappointed. Running now the final bend. On the final lap, some serious speed over this last 400 meters. Don't worry about the Asian record, don't worry about the SEA Games record. This is about going for the win. That Asian record by Wang Jungxia of China back in 1993, a superb 29:31. But this is going to be a consummate effort. She did what she needed to do, and that was simply to win the gold. She crosses the finish line for an incredible 6th consecutive women's 10,000 meter SEA Games title, finishing 2nd for the 2nd consecutive Southeast Asia Games. Is Pham Thi Hue of Vietnam, the 21-year-old barefoot runner, crosses just under 37 minutes, and indeed it'll be a 2-3 for Vietnam as Pham Thi Hong Le crosses now just outside the 37-minute mark. So Vietnam, 2 medalists on the podium, but the winner from Indonesia. And so happy to celebrate. It was expected that the 30-year-old would run to a 6th consecutive title. She has completely dominated Southeast Asian Games 10,000 meter events. For the last decade, she has won every title. And this, the absolutely well-deserved gold medal. Didn't need to take the pace out too much. It's a shout of joy. There's not much energy left in the body when you run a 10,000 meter, particularly when you're trying to push so hard over the final lap to guarantee the victory. And Trianingsih has broken the 2 athletes from Vietnam. Pham Thi Hue tried to stick with her the entire way, just didn't have enough left. Didn't have the energy to stick with the incredibly gifted Trianingsih. And significantly, Trianingsih, a 6th consecutive title. That dominance is not going to be broken anytime soon, is what she's reminded the spectators at the SEA Games. Such power in the finish. After a relatively slow start, she set the pace herself, allowed Pham to stay on her shoulder for much of the race, but with 600 meters odd to go, she decided to open up a gap that she would not only increase, and that she would set to prove devastating to the 2 Vietnamese runners who were trailing in her wake.
Ladies and gentlemen, the track event that is scheduled.
Nowhere near her season's best of 33. And nowhere near her SEA Games record of 32:49. And she's done enough to win the gold in very warm conditions here. The race is still ongoing. There are athletes still out on the track. Kim Mose of Myanmar being cheered around as well by the crowd, just encouraging the Myanmar athlete to get to the finish line. Trianingsih, meanwhile, is enjoying her victory lap. 25 laps of the 400-meter track. She immediately darted to the inside after the standing start and stayed in front. So here is Kin Marse, who's being applauded and encouraged by the crowd here at the Bukit Jalil National Stadium. 38:40 at the National Championships in February for Kin Marse. Not to be her night. 5th place in 2015. It'll be 6th place for the Myanmar athlete in 2017. When she took the bell, she was being encouraged on by the Malaysian support, by the local fans as well. And bringing her to the finish line now. A very tough race. And a race that she will complete, lapped twice by the eventual winner, Xiaoningsi. But a particularly tough race. She's finished it. Kim Marset will register 6th place in the women's 10,000 metre for the 2017 SEA Games.
And at 9:10 p.m. the men's 400 metres finals.
Confirmation then of the results. The women's 10,000 metre final shows Vietnam claiming 2 of the podium places, but most importantly for Indonesia, their 2nd gold medal of the track and field at 2017 SEA Games, as Xiaoningsi has claimed the gold for the 6th consecutive time in the women's 10,000 metre, ahead of Pham Thi Huay and Pham Thi Hong Le. Now Abdul Latif bin Romli looking to improve on his 2nd round attempt of 7 metre 25. Well, the feet looked like they'd landed well ahead, but again, just a dragging elbow. He's probably lost 15 centimetres.
10,000 metres finals is on the scoreboard with the lead Indonesia, 2nd place in Vietnam.
And right arm as it came down. It's just he's lost a little bit there, so he'll be over the 7 metre mark, but I'm convinced it's going to be an improvement on his 7.25 in the 2nd round. So 7.34 it's been measured at. It still doesn't work him into medal contention.
Para peminat sukan olahraga sukan si kali ke-29. Marilah kita hadir pandangan ke arena untuk menyaksikan acara balapan 400 meter wanita.
Now this is the start list for the women's 400 metre final.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to draw your attention to the arena to witness the next track event of the day, the women's 400 meters final.
Well, going in lane 4, shall be introduced momentarily. There we go. Fatin Fakia Muhammad Yusuf of Malaysia. And she practices her start while she's being introduced by the PA, the announcer. There's a familiar face to many. Dipna Lim Prasad of Singapore, 26-year-old silver medalist in the 400 hurdles. And Singapore national record holder in the hurdles, and looking to break Chi Sui Lee's long-standing 400 metre record of 55.08. It stood since the 1974 Asian Games. And she'll be going in 5. Dipna Lim Prasad, she's quick. There's Nurul Faiza, local favourite. Nurul Faiza, Asma Mazlan. She and Fakia Muhammad Yusuf will run for Malaysia in this women's 400 metre final.
competitor 517. Fakia Muhammad Yusuf of Malaysia.
Being introduced, Fatin Fakia Muhammad Yusuf of Malaysia, 55.89 at the National Open earlier this year, goes in lane 4.
Lane 558. Dipna Limprasad, Singapore.
From Singapore, smiling Dipna Limprasad, already a medalist at these games, silver in the 400 hurdles, graduate of the Singapore School or Sports School. But here's the favourite, the defending champion from Vietnam, 24-year-old Nguyen Thi Huyen, gold by a massive margin in the 400 hurdles. Supanik Pulkert, the 19-year-old Asian junior champion, silver medalist. She goes in lane 7. No. Going in lane 8 is Nurul Faiza Asma Maslan, 26-year-old. She has a personal best of 54.73, so relatively quick over this distance, but only 55.64 this season. And going out in lane 9, the second representative for Thailand, Pompan Homhook. So all quiet for the starter. Final checks. Getting away first time in the women's 400-meter final. Competitors will go once around this 400-meter track, getting off in their staggered lanes, but it looks like immediately Nguyen Thi Huyen is not messing around. The defending champion, gold medalist in 2015. Vietnam, bear in mind, has won every women's track gold at these games. So this is set to be another for Vietnam. Gold by a massive margin in the 400 hurdles over Dipna Limprasad, who's looking good for a silver medal here in this event, but perhaps even with a chance of going in on the best ever time. Still a 0.2 of a second, 0.2 of the national record for Singapore. Dipna Limprasad looking good for the silver. A battle here for Pulkert to hold on for the bronze, but it's set to be an impressive gold medal for Nguyen Thi Huyen. She is superb over the flat distance 400. Indeed, she's going to win it. Can she break any records? No, 52.46. Dipna Limprasad with an impressive finish in silver, and indeed the Asian junior champion, silver medalist Supanik Pulkert of Thailand finishes in the bronze medal position. It was never in doubt. The double was certainly on. 400 hurdles, 400 flat. Silver medals in the 400 hurdles and 400 flat now for Dipna Limprasad of Singapore. But a grand run yet again from Nguyen Thi Huyen. Vietnam have dominated the track events in the women's draw at the 2017 SEA Games, and they have not let up. It is a 9th gold medal for Vietnam, a 2nd gold medal for Nguyen Thi Huyen. 400 hurdles and 400 flat titles for her. Good solid run. We'll just get the times confirmed shortly, but was not going to be beaten. Complete dominance in the hurdles and complete dominance in this 400 flat race, and she's still got the prospect of winning gold as well with the 4x400 relay with Vietnam. She completed the treble at the last SEA Games with Vietnam. So winner 52.48 for Nguyen Thi Huyen. A real opportunity to celebrate. Well, Dipna Limprasad, she gets to celebrate because she's just broken the national record for Singapore, 54.18. So a really quick time. She's broken a record that has stood since 1974 Asian Games. Chu Sui Lee's 400-meter record of 55.08 has been broken by Dimna Limprasad, who set a new 200-meter record as well, national record at these championships, so running as quickly as she ever has. A new personal best for the Singaporean sprinter. And a very fine bronze medal for the Asian Junior Championships silver medalist Supanik Pulkerd of Thailand, with a new personal best 54.55. Neither Malaysian in the medals, and Pompan Humhoek losing out to a compatriot. It's the start list then for the men's 400 meter, and another quality field. Setiawan, Alajan, Kwak, Masri, Sunton Tuan, Biram, Luang and Alet, the 8 athletes who will do battle for the men's 400 meter title.
Jadi tontonan kawan-kawan marilah kita alih pandangannya ke arena untuk menyaksikan acara balapan 400 meter di peringkat akhir, di mana 8 peserta akan bertarung untuk satu pingat emas. Jadi tontonan kawan-kawan, satu tepukan gemuruh balapan dari acara 400 meter yang akan langsung sebentar lagi.
It's Dimna Limprasad, just a little recovery going on here after the 400 meter race. The men's race is set to take place momentarily. Another splendid performance from Nguyen Thi Huyen. Second consecutive SEA Games in which she's won the double of the 400 flat and hurdles. And there's still a chance to win the 4x400 meter relay with Vietnam. Well, introducing the athletes. Going in lane 2 from Indonesia. He's only 16 years old. He turns 17 next month.
Lane 2.
The Indonesian Ivan Anugrah Setiawan, who ran 47.47 at the Asian Youth Championships in Bangkok in May. There's an outside chance of a medal here. Here's a man who would fancy a medal, would want the gold. Silver medalist in 2013, bronze in 2015, Edgardo Alajan Jr.
Lane 4.
Going in lane 4 is a man who is regarded by many as the favourite. Silver medalist from 2015, Kwak Kong Lik, who turns 24 on Sunday and would love an early birthday present. Silver medalist in the 400 hurdles. An enormous cheer for Mohammed Azam bin Masri. Well, the man who goes in lane 3, Alajan, beat him by 1/100th of a second at the Philippines Open last year in a fantastic race. Pachaya Sutontatuan, 18th this year, 46.85, his best this season.
Lane 7. 209.
Trenton Anthony Biram goes on his outside in lane 7 for the Philippines. The gold medalist in the 200 meter, looking for the double here, 200 and 400 double, an elusive double for some.
Lane 8.
Going in lane 8, second athlete from Vietnam in this field, 21-year-old Long Phan Tao, 46.80 at the National Championships in Hanoi.
And in lane 9.
And Mohammed Arif Zulhilmi Alet of Malaysia goes in lane 9. He ran a 47.71 in the semi-finals in a very closely contested affair. And to give you an idea of the times, the top 5 in the first semi-final were separated by 11/100ths of a second. It was a race in which all but Kwok were running full out. So there could be a real battle on for one of the minor medal placings. Now, Kwok, Behram, and Bin Masri certainly will fancy their chances of claiming the gold. Edgardo Alijan, don't discount him. Now 30 years old with loads of experience. And twice a medalist at these games. And Kwok going in 4. Getting away first time in the men's 400-meter flat. And looking to get off to an explosive start is Anthony Behram. Trenton Anthony Behram, the 21-year-old, lives in the United States, trains in the United States, and set a 46.56 at the American Outdoor Championships in Houston in May. Is looking very strong down the back straight, and he's already passed men on his outside. But has he gone too fast? Because Luang Van Tao is coming back immediately at him. Also timing his run has been Masri, and Kwok too is looking good. But they should come out all relatively even as they enter the final straight, and they do here. It's going to be a sprint to the line. Who's got enough energy left? Has Kwok got enough to take it in the end? He's got a 400 hurdles behind him. Behram is holding on. The 200-meter champion is going to complete the double for the Philippines. He completes the double in superb fashion. Trenton Anthony Behram, the 21-year-old, gold in the 200, takes gold in the 400. What a run as well from Pachaya Suntun Tuam and Mohammed Azam bin Masri in the middle lanes. Kwok, though, would take the bronze medal, being congratulated by his compatriot Edgardo Alijan Jr., the 30-year-old who missed out on a medal at this championship despite medaling in the last 2 SEA Games in the men's 400-meter. Well, Kwok will take the bronze. Didn't miss out by very much. This was a fine run indeed from Anthony Behram, Trenton Anthony Behram. I thought he might have gone out just a little too fast. It was an explosive first bend, but he still had some energy come the final straight. And while bin Masri fell away in the closing stages, it was a straight out sprint between the 3 who had come almost even into the final 100 meters. Trenton Anthony Behram had the straight line speed to take gold. Not quite on the line from Pachaya Suntontuam of Thailand. Impressive stuff from a man who's only 18 this year. And then Kwok Kong Lik of Vietnam will add to his silver in the 400 hurdles with a bronze in the 400 flat. Edgardo Alijan Jr. fails to medal at this year's SEA Games. And his compatriot with the medal for Philippines. Wait to confirm the times, but there's no doubt about the champion. Trenton Anthony Behram has completed the double. It's a feat that on the world stage it's only twice been done by a male athlete. And the great Michael Johnson, the last to do at the World Champs in 1995 and the Olympic Games in 1996 in Atlanta in front of his home crowd. But confirmation then. Champion Trenton Anthony Behram takes the gold ahead of Pachaya Suntontuam of Thailand and bronze to Kwok Kong Lik.
Ladies and gentlemen, we draw your attention to the scoreboard. Displayed results for one meter and final.
Now, Jeremy Ubas looking to improve his best jump. Oh, great height again. He's launched out a long way here. There's no celebrations just yet, but he knows it's good. He knows it's good. 775. A superb jump from Jeremy Ubas. The 778 to win the Thai Open earlier this year. 775 now, and he's in gold medal position. Now, Suwandi Wijaya with that third jump showed just the kind of jump he can produce. What has he got here? Is that a legal jump? That's an enormous jump if that's legal. It is legal. That is going to be the new lead. 778. So Suwandi Wijaya has hit the front with a 778.
Definitely impressive with a time 54.187. That best time, Supanish Luket, 54.55 seconds. Fourth place, 1 pound from Thailand.
Lukman Hakim Ramlan, 22-year-old from Malaysia, looking to get close to the 762 he produced at the Malaysian Championships in April.
With a time of 57.167. Officer is up.
Well short. Further frustration for the 22-year-old Malaysian. Bui Bandung, who had the early lead in the men's long jump. Watch his launch. He's got a great takeoff. Great takeoff. Builds the speed, and that might be the lead. That might very well be the lead. That's close to 8 meters. It won't be 8 meters, but I suggest that's beyond the 778 that Suwandi Wijaya produced a short while ago. 783.
56 minutes, 54.027. Third place,
Final jump for the defending champion. What has he got? How does he say goodbye to this competition? Well, he won't work his way into the medals here. A red flag for a man who's dominated the long jump over the last half decade. From 2009, he won 3 of the last 4 gold medals, only missing out in 2013. Supanara Sukasvasti Naayu. Disappointment for the 25-year-old former world youth long jump champion. And Tongaland's national record holder in the long jump is out of the medals for the first time in his SEA Games career. Just never got it right down the runway, couldn't get the launch right. Now, his compatriot from Thailand, Suttisak Singkon. Silver in the decathlon, and looking to produce a jump that might put him into surprise medal position. 783 in the Thai Open this season. Final jump for Sutisak Sinkon is produced to 7.52, his best in the fourth round. Can go out to 7.83, which is currently the lead for Bui Van Dong of Vietnam. And not nearly enough. It'll be a legal jump. If there's an improvement to his distance, it won't be by much. And I'm afraid that will not be enough to see him work into the medals. And perhaps there's an excuse of 10 events behind him, having competed in the decathlon over the first 2 days of the track and field. It's the third day of the track and field. And while it is an improvement, a 7.59 cannot finish better than fourth place.
Third place from Thailand was Sana Winato, 2,386 points. Fourth place, Emilia Nova, Indonesia, with a point 2,382 points.
So Nguyen Thien Trong, 20-year-old from Vietnam, needs to produce better than the 7.53 he recorded in the second round. 7.87 in the Vietnam Open this year. Good speed down the runway, just lost it completely on the runway, and he knows it as well. It's a legitimate jump, but he was so far short of the board. He would have needed to produce a jump that, had it been on the board, would have gone well beyond the 8-meter mark if he was to challenge for a medal. That's how short of the board he was. And that'll be the end of his long jump competition, and won't finish better than fifth place. John Riobas. Final jump for the man from the Philippines. For a short while was leading. In the middle position here. He can improve his jump, improve his best. Still a gold medal potential for Chan Riobas. Good speed, good height, but short. And the disappointment for the Philippines long jumper. He's just waiting to see his distance. And happy to applaud those who've been applauding his efforts. Well, the bronze medal for Chan Riobas is in prospect. Now, Suwandi Wijaya took the lead for the briefest of moments with his 7.78 in the fourth round before it was surpassed. Currently in silver medal position, needs to hit 7.83 or better. I say 7.83 or better because if you tie for the lead, it's the second best jump that'll win you the gold medal, and he has that currently, and that is not going to be a jump that works for him. He's not got it quite so far out. No, when they're measuring well short, I don't know if that's a mark left in the sand by him. Now, this is an interesting one. He's been asked to step back by the officials. They are measuring a mark. It doesn't look like it was a mark he left. And the athlete is within his rights to protest before they rake the sand. Is that his elbow, or is that part of his clothing that has been measured? I dare say he wouldn't improve on it. Now, it's a 7:58, so it wouldn't improved his jump regardless. But he might have had a point there. I don't know if he was the culprit for that. That indentation in the sand. Now the leader. Final jump for Bui Van Dong, 7:83. For the man who has secured Vietnam's 10th gold medal of these track and field championships. Looking to go beyond the 8-meter mark. It's not going to count. A red flag to finish. Bui Van Dong has done enough. So the Vietnam flag will come out again. We will hear the Vietnam national anthem later this evening at the Bukit Jalil National Stadium. The athletics has been a wonderful arena for the Vietnamese competitors to display their athletic potential. They have dominated. Well, Vietnam have another gold medal. This time it's Bui Van Dong. He will celebrate long throughout the night. A fine series of jumping. He started off on a very solid footing and he improved it. His lead was snatched away for brief moments, but he took it back every time. Well, nothing wrong with his performance. Absolutely nothing wrong with the performance of this man. Bui Van Dong being congratulated by the champion of 2 years ago, the champion of 6 years ago, the champion of 8 years ago, being congratulated as well by the bronze medalist in this jump. Suwandi Vijaya, the silver medal for him. And Jan Riobas of the Philippines collected a very solid bronze medal after a good solid display of long jumping. The man that broke the Vietnam national record in July to come into this championship with a very, very promising prospect of gold, has delivered. And Jan Riobas, for a moment led. A man who has good athletic all-round ability, a man who has completed the decathlon, not at these games however, and the winner of the Thai Open earlier this year with a 7:78. Just not enough to claim the gold or silver today, but instead enough to take bronze. He'll be on the podium for the medal presentation. Confirmation then of the results. Bui Van Dong of Vietnam gives Vietnam their 10th gold medal of the athletics. Suwandi Vijaya, Indonesia, takes silver, and Jan Riobas of the Philippines, the 7:75, is leapt into bronze medal position. Decathlon silver medalist Singkon misses out, so too the defending champion Swasti Maayu. and only finish in 6th position. The first time in 5 SEA Games that Sukaswasti Naidu has missed out on a medal at the SEA Games.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next and final event for tonight at approximately 9:40 p.m. will be the women's Hepthathlon discipline for 200 meters hurdles. And later, we will be witnessing the victory ceremony for the women's 10,000 meters, women's 400 meters, and men's 400 meters.
Sama-sama kita himpunkan ke arena untuk menyaksikan acara balapan seterusnya, yaitu acara 200 meter heptathlon disiplin keempat yang akan berlangsung sebentar lagi. Ladies and gentlemen, in a short while we will be witnessing a track event, women heptathlon discipline for 200 meters.
Yes, the competitors then for the women's heptathlon event number 4, the 200 metre, the final event on day 1 of competition for the heptathlon. 7 events split over 2 days. Asana Minato, 5-time champion of the heptathlon, goes in lane 3. Narcisa Atienza, Sunisa Kotsimwang, the defending champion, Kamarudin of Malaysia, Chantawong Manivan of Laos, and Emilia Nova, who's very quick. Certainly prefers the track events, will be going on the outside lane. Now, Asana Minato, a legend of the sport, 19 times a SEA Games medalist, 12 golds included in that. Narcisa Atienza, a 37-year-old, fellow 37-year-old like Minato, a legend of this sport. Multiple silver medalist in this event. Sunisa Kotsimwang of Thailand, the defending champion, goes in 5. Still only 24 years old. And a good cheer for Nurliana Kamarudin of Malaysia. 4,992 points at the Thai Open earlier this year as part of preparations. And always a smile on her face. Chantawong Manivan of Laos goes in 7. And arguably the quickest of these competitors on the track, Emilia Nova of Indonesia, goes in 8. Well, she was comfortably ahead of anybody else in the 100-meter hurdles, the very first event on day 1 of competition. So the heptathlon 7-event all-round test over 2 days. This is the final event on day 1. It's already seen the 100-meter hurdles, the high jump and the shot put for the women. Tomorrow the long jump, javelin, and then the testing 800 meters to finish. Watch out for Kotsimwang. Also very quick, the defending champion, 24-year-old, gets away for Thailand, going in lane 5. Minato very quickly up on the inside as well. The 5-time heptathlon champion at the SEA Games, the twice the Asian champion, but indeed the quickest of the lot on the track events. As suggested, Emilia Nova is looking to go to victory here. And she's going to post a decently quick time, which will continue her impressive run in this heptathlon for women. So she finishes the final event just outside the 25-second mark. It's not a bad run by Minato either, who finishes in 2nd overall. Atienza trailing in a little behind, but Kotsimwang of Thailand finished 3rd in that women's 200 meter. And these times will be converted to points. And so quick she is in the track events, Emilia Nova, that she's often near the 1,000-point mark in the track events, which is genuinely well above par. Minato trying to keep pace, the 37-year-old. Well, she's got everything. I mean, the first time she won a gold medal in the heptathlon was in 1999. That was 18 years ago, and she's still going strong. But it's all about Emilia Nova in the track, certainly. She's putting her hand up to be taken seriously in the heptathlon. Quality run from the Indonesian youngster. Well, she started the day with a win in the 100 hurdles. She's finished the day with a win in the 200-meter sprint. And she'll take that positivity into the second day's competition. Asana Minato, easily recognizable, not only for the tattoos, the 2589, and also often wears mismatching socks and different color shoes. Colorful character. Kotsimwang of Thailand, finishing 3rd, just outside 26 seconds. So those times will be converted to points and then added to an overall tally, and a cumulative score will be produced not only at the end of the day, but at the end of the competition, which will conclude tomorrow after 3 events: the long jump, the javelin, and the 800 meter. So confirmation then But Emilianova is still in front, just ahead of Renato. But two tough events for her tomorrow in the long jump and the javelin. She'll do all right in the long jump. Javelin perhaps not so much. Watch out for Renato, but it's still very close among the top four. They'll be fighting for 3 medals between them.
Majelis penyampaian hadiah bagi acara 400 meter wanita. Untuk itu, majlis dengan penuh hormat dan takzimnya memohon perkenan Duli Yang Maha Mulia Tengku Permaisuri Selangor, Tengku Permaisuri Nur Ashikin untuk berangkat mencomar duli bagi menyempurnakan majlis penyampaian hadiah bagi acara 400 meter wanita. Dengan diiringi oleh Yang Berbahagia Datuk Paduka Mumtaz Jaffar, Naib Presiden Kesatuan Olahraga Malaysia. Ampun tuanku. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the victory ceremony for the women's 400 meters. Please welcome the medalists.
This is the victory ceremony for the women's 400 meters.
The medals will be presented by Duli Yang Maha Mulia Tengku Permaisuri Selangor, Tengku Permaisuri Nur Ashikin. The mascot and seedling will be presented by Yang Berbahagia Datuk Paduka Mumtaz Jaffar, the Vice President of Malaysian Olympic Council and Malaysian Athletics Federation. Yang Berbahagia is also an ex-athlete of SEA Games 100 meters who has won a gold medal. Ladies and gentlemen, the bronze medalist from Thailand, Supanich Pulker, with the time.
Well, still only 19 years old, Supanik Purgerd of Thailand claims the bronze medal. A new personal best for the young lady. The Asian Junior Champion silver medalist. With a solid sprint.
Silver medalist from Singapore, Dimna Lim Prasad, with a time of 54 and 1/8 seconds.
54.18 seconds, a new national record for Dipna Lim Prasad of Singapore, breaking a record that has stood since 1974. Adds to her silver in the 400 meter hurdles with the silver in the 400 flat. And a big smile. Oh, a little tongue out for the camera as well. A little bit of show.
Ladies and gentlemen, the gold medalist.
But the gold medalist was just unbeatable. Just adds to what has been a thoroughly impressive display by Vietnam in the athletics. Her second gold medal of these games after gold in the 400 hurdles. The 24-year-old has won again by a massive margin in the 400 flat and keeps up that record for Vietnam, who have now won every women's track gold at these games. For the 10,000 meter.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the
Now,
national
for the national anthem of Vietnam. Well, she's building up a collection of gold medals at the SEA Games. In 2015, she won 3 of them from her 3 events, 400 flat, 400 hurdles, and the 4x400 relay. Still the 4x400 relay to come for Nguyen Thi Huyen. But another gold medal for Nguyen Thi Huyen ahead of Singapore's Dipnalim Prasad and Thailand's Supinik Pulkerd.
wanita. Untuk itu, majlis dengan
This is the victory ceremony for the women's 10,000 meter.
Duli Yang Maha Mulia Sultan Syarafuddin
medalists for the
Al-Hajj
endurance race, the women's 10,000 meter, make their way out towards the podium.
Aziz Shah Al-Hajj untuk berangkat mencemar Duli bagi menyempurnakan penyampaian hadiah acara 10,000 meter wanita dengan diiringi oleh Yang Amat Dihormati Datuk Salahuddin Saidin, Ahli Dewan Diraja Selangor. Ampun Tuanku. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the victory ceremony for the women's 10,000 meters. Please welcome the medalists. The medals will be presented by Duli Yang Maha Mulia Sultan Selangor Sultan Syarafuddin Idris Shah Al-Hajj Ibni Almarhum Sultan Salahuddin Abdul Aziz Shah Al-Hajj. The mascot and seedling will be presented by Yang Amat Dihormati Datuk Salahuddin Saidin, Ahli Dewan Diraja. Ladies and gentlemen, bronze medalists from Vietnam, represented by Pham Thi Hong Lee, with a time of 37 minutes and 6.64 seconds.
The bronze medal going to Vietnam's Pham Thi Hong Lee. Just outside the 37-minute mark for the bronze medalists, who hung in until the final lap with her compatriot and indeed the eventual winner from Vietnam and Indonesia respectively. The bronze medal for Pham Thi Hong Lee.
Silver medalist from Vietnam, represented by Pham Thi Hu, with a time of 36
Pham Thi Hu, the 21-year-old from Vietnam, adds to her silver medal from 2015 with a silver medal in 2017. A smile on her face, tried her best to keep up with the legendary Trianingsi, but not to be today. A silver medal again for the barefoot runner. She'll take it and she'll know her time will come.
Ladies and gentlemen, gold medalist.
Now this is where you take your hat off to an athlete.
Champion from Indonesia.
She has won every gold medal since 2007.
With a time of 36 minutes and 39.
Needed just over 36 minutes to win this gold medal, but it's not about the time. She won gold in 2007, 2009, 2011, 2013, 2015, and now in 2017, over a decade later, she's claimed her 6th consecutive SEA Games gold medal in the women's 10,000 meter. It's utterly astonishing for an athlete to dominate the way that this 30-year-old has done over this distance.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Deserves to be applauded as she claims Indonesia's second gold medal of these games in the track. Confirmation of the medalists in the women's 10,000 meter. Pham Thi Hung Le with the bronze, Pham Thi Hung Hui of Vietnam with the silver, and the champion Turning Sea of Indonesia claims gold.
Congratulations to the medalists.
Angkut tuan-tuan, maka selesailah sudah atlet pencapaian hadiah.
Her 11th gold medal of the SEA Games in a career that has seen her claim on numerous occasions the 5,000 and 10,000 meter double. And Turning Sea with an enormous smile on her face.
Sekali lagi menjunjung kasih di atas kesulian diri yang maha mulia tuanku mencemar dunia berangkat pada malam ini. Menjunjung kasih tuanku mengumumkan diri yang maha mulia Sultan Selangor, Sultan Syarafuddin Idris Shah Al-Haj dan duli yang maha mulia Tengku Permaisuri Nur Ashikin meninggalkan majlis.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the victory ceremony for the men's 400 meters. Please welcome the medalists.
This is the victory ceremony for the men's 400 metre. Oh, Trenton and Anthony Barham just disappeared for a moment. The men's 400 metre victory ceremony take place now.
Manager of Philippines and ex-official member of the Southeast Asia Athletics Association. The mascot and sibling will be presented by Mr. Dong Dan Toy, team leader, athletics of Vietnam. Ladies and gentlemen, bronze medalists from Vietnam, represented by Quoc Trong Lic, with a time.
Well, the bronze medalist from Vietnam, Quoc Trong Lic, turns 24 on Sunday. No early birthday present for him with a gold medal, but a man who put in a superb performance over the 400 hurdles and the 400 flat to win medals in both. Claims the bronze in a time of 46.48 seconds, just 2/100ths of a second outside of the silver medal.
Silver medalist from Thailand, represented by Pi Sun Ton Hua.
Well, an impressive junior athlete, Pachaya Suntontuan, just 18 this year. Has ran a 46.46, a new personal best, and good enough to claim him the silver medal in the men's 400 metre.
Ladies and gentlemen, gold medalist and the 29th SEA Games champion is Philippines, represented by.
But to cap off a very impressive first appearance for Philippines at the Southeast Asia Games, Trenton Anthony Barham, the 21-year-old from the Philippines, gold in the 200 metre. He's now got the double with gold in the 400 metre, 46.39 seconds. And what a claim. That is a rare sprint double, 200 and 400 metres. At any championships.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem of Philippines.
For the national anthem of the Philippines. Helping Philippines consolidate their third place in the medal tally at the Athletics in Kuala Lumpur 2017 is Trenton Anthony Barham with his second gold medal of these games. Gold in the men's 400 metre final to complete the 200-400 double. Sun Ton Tam at 18, silver medalist, and Quoc of Vietnam, bronze medalist.
Thank you to all VIPs. Congratulations to the medalists.
This is the victory ceremony for the men's long jump.
Medals will be presented by Mr. Tran Duc Phan, Chief Division of Vietnam. Mascot and seedling will be presented by Young Provider Dato Saleh Harlan, Team Manager of Malaysia. Ladies and gentlemen, bronze medalists from Philippines.
Well, this was a fine bronze medal performance.
With a distance of 7.75 meters.
Janri Ubas, the 23-year-old. All over the 770 mark. Did enough to claim the bronze medal. For a short while he was in the lead, but 7 meters 75, just 3 centimeters off the silver.
Indonesia, represented by Suwandi Wijaya, with a distance of 7.78 meters.
Silver medalist from Indonesia, Suwandi Wijaya, the 22-year-old, a former medalist at the Southeast Asian Youth Games, now claims his first medal at the Southeast Asia Games. And delight for the Indonesian long jumper.
Ladies and gentlemen, gold medalist and the 29 SEA Games champion from Vietnam, represented by Nguyen Van Dong, with the distance
Huy
of
Van Dong of Vietnam is the champion though.
7.8 meters.
He built up to this event by smashing the Vietnamese national record at the South Vietnam Open in July with a jump of 789, breaking the previous record of 773. He's again gone over the 780 mark, this time with a 783 jump that secured him the gold medal by 5 centimeters from the Indonesian Suwandi Wijaya and by 8 centimeters from the Philippine star Janri Ubas. Now for the national anthem of Vietnam. Vietnam with yet another medal in this athletics competition of Kuala Lumpur 2017. A very solid series sees Huy Van Dong claim the gold ahead of Suwandi Wijaya and Janri Ubas with 775, good enough for bronze. Vietnam, Indonesia, Philippines in that order.
Congratulations to the medalists.
The results from the day, turning C with only Indonesia's second gold medal of the athletics. Ahead of 2 Vietnamese stars who will go in the 5,000 metre. Day 4 of the track and field. Huy Van Dong gold medal over Suwandi Wijaya and Janri Ubas in the men's long jump. Magnificent display of long jumping from the top 5 really. Women's 400 meter went the way of the favourite Nguyen Thi Hien ahead of Dipnalim Prasad with the national record for Singapore with the silver medal. And the young Thai star claiming bronze. Anthony Beram completed the 200-400 double with the title in the men's 400 ahead of Sun Tontuam, the 18-year-old, and Kwak claiming bronze. And in the women's heptathlon, after 4 events, Emilia Nova with another superb performance at 25.02 means that she has gained enough points to be in the lead following day 1 ahead of 5-time champion Minato and Kamarudin of Malaysia third.